Welcome to video 3 in my series where I'm going through every card in Dungeoneer, Vault of the Fiends. In this video, I will be looking at two different card types. One, the purple-backed quest cards, and the green-backed hero cards. So let's start with quests. Now the first type I'm going to talk about, the artifact threat. And there are two of those in this set. Now the difference in artifact quests is that once you complete the quest, your reward that's down here in the corner is actually something that will help your character, one of their combat stats. And in this case, it's going to get a +3 to melee, and this one +2 to speed. Now normally as a reward for completing a quest, you'll gain a level, maybe gain some glory points, maybe heal a wound. Some will even give you some peril points. Those are the darker quests. But in this case, the artifact quests, like I said, these are the only ones that reward you with a stat bonus. So let's start with Dismantle Armor Golem. Now this is going to take place in the armory, and there's the golem itself. Looks like it's been dismantled already. To complete this quest, overcome the armor golem while in the armory. If successful, place a deactivated token on the armory, and you may activate the armor golem there by playing a treasure card or by spending 1 movement point. So I should have the armory map card out to show, but it does make reference to this quest that unless the golem has been deactivated, I don't know if you have to pass it. I think you have to pass some kind of test maybe. We'll find that out in my next video, because that is when I'll be going through all the map cards. But anyway, so that's what this Dismantle Armor Golem is about. And when you complete it, like I said, you're going to gain a permanent +3 to your melee combat for the rest of the game. The discrete parts of the Armor Golem could make a formidable weapon. Okay, so what is the other artifact? We've got Sunken Treasure. And you've got this pair of boots here. Looks like they may be underwater. Now you need to go to the flooded chamber to complete this quest. Once there, you have to overcome a speed threat of 6 while at the flooded chamber, adding +1 to the threat for each readied treasure you have. Now that really makes sense, because the more things you're carrying, the harder it should be in a flooded chamber to pass a test. So that works out pretty well. Now each additional attempt uses 1 movement point. So to me that says that the first attempt is free, but if you failed it, you could keep trying for 1 movement point each attempt. Now back here, I forgot to mention that, by playing or by spinning. Okay, so these are just a little different than your standard quests. This says, Legends tell of the sacred boots of Hala, buried in a flooded chamber. So that's what those must be. Okay. All right, so those were the only two artifact ones. Next we have the chance. And following this is a chance effect. Let's go over just the plain chance first. This one's called Mystic Combination, and here is the artwork for it. Let's look at this first before we look at the artwork, so we'll know what the art's telling us. So to complete this one, you need to find the turning chamber, and once there, you need to achieve a sequence of 3 consecutive numbers on 1 roll of 3 dice. So that means you need to get a 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5, 6. You may pay any number of glory to roll that many number of dice on the attempt. So this is going to cost you a minimum of 3 glory because you need to get 3 in a row. But you can spend as much as you want to roll as many dice as you want. Obviously, the more you spend, the better chances your odds will be for getting 3 consecutive numbers. And each attempt uses 1 movement point. Now, I explained this in one of my gameplay videos, but when a quest specifically says each attempt uses 1 movement point, then you do not get a free attempt. If it doesn't mention it, then your first attempt is free each turn. And if you would fail, you could retry it at the cost of 1 movement point. But yeah, if it says this, then you have to pay every time. So the Mystic combination is beyond even Ramalith's ability to solve. So that's what this hero's trying to do, trying to get a consecutive order of numbers in all this magic. All right, and if you complete this quest, you're going to gain a heroic level and recover 1 wound. Now, similar to that is this chance effect card called Cryptic Doors. It also takes place in the turning chamber. To complete the quest, roll doubles on the roll of 2 dice. Add 1 additional die to 1 roll for each 1 glory you pay. So the first 2 dice are free. So if you don't have any glory, you can still attempt this and hope you roll doubles. But obviously, the more glory you pay, the more dice you roll, the better your chances are for rolling doubles. Each attempt to complete the quest uses 1 movement point. And here is the effect that it's talking about. In addition to when you complete the quest, in addition to the rewards, your opponent is also going to relocate your hero to any adjacent space. Choosing a cryptic door requires a fickle combination of luck and skill. So here are the doors. Okay? You also gain 1 heroic level and recover 1 wound. Next, we have the escort quests. Now, there are actually 3 different escort quests. We have the effect escort, which means there's going to be something in effect as you're escorting. And the other one is an escort effect. So let's see what the difference is here. We'll take a look at all 3 of them. The first one is called Burn the Dark Tome. So what you need to do is you go to the Dark Altar. You place a marker token on this card to represent the Dark Tome. Now, here's the effect. While you've got that big magic book, you have +1 on magical combat when you have the Dark Tome. So once you've got the tome, you're going to take it to the Fiery Chasm. And to complete the quest, you discard the token while at the Fiery Chasm. So essentially, you could think of this as taking the ring to Mordor, to the lava, throwing the ring in. Ramalith's evil knowledge is dangerous and tempting. It must be destroyed, but it won't hurt to use it a bit before we do. Just like the ring in Mount Doom. All right, so there is the book. That is pretty awesome looking magic tome. It's dark, so I have to assume there might be a little evil involved. Oh, look at that, peril. So when you complete this, you're going to gain 1 level and 3 peril for dealing with all this evilness. But you do get to recover 1 wound. Now the other effect escort is Rescue Princess Penelope. Now this reminds me of like rescuing the maiden in Tomb of the Lich Lord. So you're also going to be going to the Dark Altar to pick her up or have her follow you. While you're there, you place a token on the card to represent the princess. And to complete the quest, you discard the token while on the vault entryway. So basically you're taking her out of the vault. But you announce that your attacks do not wound fiends while you have the princess with you. So as long as that token's on here, you cannot wound fiends. Don't hurt the cute, fuzzy little fiends. When you complete it, you're going to gain a level, 3 glory points, and recover 1 wound. Now, the escort effect quest is called Free the Prisoners. And those are the prisoners being held prisoner. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to Fiends Hollow, place a marker token on this quest card to represent the prisoners, and you announce that you have -1 to movement while you have the prisoners, which makes sense, especially if you're trying to escort 3 people out, and you're going to the entrance again. To complete the quest, discard the token while on any entrance. So you're going to want to, hopefully this comes out close to the entrance, or you're going to want to wait until maybe you improve your speed stat a little bit so you have more movement points, so it won't hurt so much to have to use 1 less each turn. It is unimaginable what Romulus prisoners have experienced. Ooh, so that's what those are, Romulus experiments. Okay, wow. And when you complete it, you gain 1 level, 3 glory points, and you recover 1 wound. Now we have the sacrifice. We have 2 plain sacrifice quests and 1 sacrifice threat. So let's look at the plain sacrifices first. Feed the blood-stained gate. Okay, so you need to find the blood-stained gate first of all. And to complete the quest, you're going to pay 1 life and 4 glory points while you are at the gate. So it's going to hurt you. It's going to take some good stuff away from you. But you do complete the quest. This would be one of the 3 that you need to win the game. The blood-stained gate rewards those who feed it. And here's the gate itself being fed. Okay. And what is your reward? You gain a level and 5 peril. So again, this is one of those, it's good that when you can complete it because it's one of 3, but there are some drawbacks to dealing with the evilness. All right, then we have the unsavory bargain, and this is also a sacrifice. For this one, you need to find the trans-dimensional gate. To complete the quest, discard 1 readied treasure card while you are at the gate. So basically, you toss a piece of equipment in, and you've solved the quest. Now, if you don't have a readied treasure, you can also give up 1 life and 5 glory points and collect an additional 4 peril points as part of your reward. So you've got a choice here on how you want to solve it. Your soul is not enough. I want your worldly possessions as well. And there it is. Yep. And again, if you complete this, you're going to gain 1 level, and no matter what, you're going to get 1 peril point. But if you go with the second option, you'll actually gain 5 peril total. Okay, and the last sacrifice is Destroy Infernal Machine. Now this can be done in any Grim Passage. Now we'll get into Grim Passages in my next video. But to complete the quest, you overcome the Infernal Machine, which is a speed test. You need to get a 6 or better. But before you can do that, you have to find the Infernal Machine. So that's where the Grim Passage comes in. You're only going to find this Grim Machine this Infernal Machine in a Grim Passage. Now to find it, you have to do a search by rolling 1 die and getting 7 or better. But how do you do that? Well, you get to add +1 to your roll for each space you are from the nearest entrance. So really, you want to be several spaces into the vault, you want to find a grim passage that's away from the entrance. You'll have a better chance of finding the infernal machine. So anyway, if you find it, that's when you get to deal with the infernal machine, when you get to overcome it. Now what if, and it says each turn requires a new search, and each search requires 1 movement point. So you pay your movement point, and then you search, and if you find it, you do this test. Now if you fail that test, you're going to take 1 wound, and it disappears, and you're going to have to search again by using the no, you know what? Each turn requires a new search. So you may be able to attempt that. No, it's just a one-time attempt. So anyway, but the next turn, if you want to do it again, you're going to have to do a new search. You're going to have to pay your point, new search, and if you find it, attempt this again. Anyway, if you succeed at this test, then you gain 1 level, 2 glory points, and recover 1 wound to complete that quest. Okay, next we have the Search and Slay, or just the Slay. Okay, the Search and Slay, it's going to be similar to that infernal machine. You're going to slay the heinous fiend. So to complete it, you need to overcome the heinous fiend. Its stats are down here. It's a monster fiend type, and it will use melee combat, which it gets a +3. And on a success, it's going to inflict 1 wound, but it only has 1 hit point. But before you can even fight, you have to search for it. Each search uses 1 movement point, and you can search in any room. Now again, you have to get a 7 or better on 1 die roll, but you get to add +1 for each space you are from the nearest entrance. Okay, so if you succeed in defeating the fiend, you have overcome the quest, completed the quest, and you gain 1 hero level, 2 glory points, and recover 1 wound. Now this basic Slay quest is just to slay Cerberak. That's what Cerberak looks like. You have to go to the treasure chamber and fight him. He is a fiend type monster that uses magic for his attack. He gets a +2 bonus, and he inflicts 1 wound on a successful attack, and he only has 1 hit point, so he's not too bad. The hideous fiends of Ramalith come in all forms. Yeah, that's for sure. I can just imagine what some of his experiments look like. When you defeat him, though, and complete the quest, you gain 1 level and recover, or gain 2 glory points and recover 1 health, 1 wound. The last type and the last 2 quests in this set are threats. Excuse me. So the first one is Destroy Romulus Laboratory. That's what his laboratory looks like with all of his experiments. And of course, you have to go to the laboratory to complete this. To complete it, you overcome 3 consecutive threats in any order while in the laboratory. You have to do 1 each of speed, melee, and magic with 5, 4, and 4 as your target numbers. Add a cumulative +1 bonus to overcome your next threat for each threat you succeeded against. Each additional threat attempt uses 1 movement point, so you're going to need a lot of movement points to complete this. And if you succeed, place a deactivated token on the laboratory. So the laboratory map card itself has a description. I don't remember off the top of my head what you have to do when you enter the laboratory, but if this quest has been completed, the laboratory gets deactivated and that no longer takes effect. The horror of what Romalith has done will not soon be forgotten. And there it is. When you complete it, you gain a level, 5 glory points, and recover 1 wound. And finally, Feed the Ancient One. You need to go to the Black Cyst and overcome a speed threat 6 while you're there. You add +2 to your attempts this turn for each treasure you discard from your hand or inventory. So that's feeding the Ancient One. The more you throw in there, the better chance you have at succeeding. Each attempt uses 1 movement point. Now, if you fail, you're going to take a wound. But you can keep trying as long as you've got movement points or life. The Ancient One looks like Ramalith's mother. That's interesting. When you complete it, you're going to gain 1 level, 1 glory point, and recover 1 health. Now, that's all the quests that were in this set. And this is similar to Tomb of the Lich Lord because it came with 6 heroes that you can play. The first hero being Himp Ghostcaller. This is an orc shaman. That's what he looks like. Our first look at orcs in this universe. And you can see his stats here. Basically, speed is going to be his best until he gets to about level 3. Then he switches over to magic. So he's got 6 hit points. He can have 1 treasure card, up to 4 boons in inventory at once. And the shaman's special ability is healing. He can pay 3 glory points and 1 movement point and recover 1 wound. He can only do that once per turn. So let's take a good look at the orc shaman here. All right. The next one, we have the human beastmaster. His name is Grog Nordum, and he starts better with speed. His melee catches up by level 3. He starts with 6 hit points. He can have a maximum of 3 treasure cards and 2 boon cards in inventory at once. And his special ability is Control Fiends. As a response, you pay 1 glory equal to the peril value of 1 fiend attacking you. And that fiend attacks another hero or monster of your choice in the same space instead, or it just ignores you. And you can use that once per turn. So he is this wild looking, one leg's covered, one leg's not. His chest and arms are bare, only half his head is covered. Real organic looking armor, kind of woodsy. So that's the Beastmaster. Next we have the Drakon or Draken, I'm not sure, Sentinel. He's very interesting. He's got a helmet with things coming out of it. I don't even know what he is. That is a big blade. Okay, and this is Maluvius. A very cool name. And speed is his best stat. So he starts with 6 health points, or hit points, and he can have a maximum of 2 treasure and 3 boons in inventory. His special ability is Terrorize. As a response during battle, pay 2 glory points plus additional glory equal to the peril value of 1 monster attacking you, and that monster is discarded. So not only does it not attack, but it is discarded and got rid of. Limit once per turn, and there is Maluvius. Okay, next we have Nordfimble. He's been featured on many other cards in this set. He is a gnome illusionist, so the gnomes look really interesting in this world. And he starts with a good speed, but then his magic catches up by level 3. He's got 6 hit points. Can hold a maximum of 2 treasure cards and 3 boons in his hand, or in his inventory. And his special ability is Illusion. Now this is cool. As a response, you may pay 2 glory points. You target an attacking monster that must overcome magic threat 3 plus your level. So the higher level you are, the better the illusion's going to last. Oh, I really like that, how the ability levels with you. So it must pass the magic test or it cannot attack for the duration of this turn. So basically, I imagine that as, he casts this illusion which distracts the monster and maybe the monster attacks it instead. But anyway, Nord avoids the attack that turn if he succeeds. Limit once per turn, of course. And that is the Illusionist. Next we have Shara Quickblade, an elf assassin. She was also featured on a lot of cards. Look at that blade she has. All right, so she starts out, speed is good, but man, by level 3, you're going to be wanting to do melee combat, especially with that sword. She's got 6 hit points, can hold up to 2 treasure cards and 3 boons at once in inventory. And her ability is Assassinate. She's an assassin. Pay 1 glory to add +1 melee to an attack and inflict 1 additional wound if successful. Now, she would be great against a lot of these monsters in this set that have 2 hit points. And she can use that once per turn. Okay, and finally, the last hero in this set, we've got Throngar, the Dwarven Runecaster. He was also featured on quite a few cards in my last 2 videos. And yeah, we've seen him quite a bit. So he starts with speed, and it moves up into magic by level 3. You're going to be wanting to use magic for his attacks. 6 hit points. He can hold 2 treasure cards and 3 boon cards in inventory at maximum. And as a runecaster, his special ability is the Rune Spell, where he can pay 1 glory to gain +1 magic for the duration of this turn. Limit once per turn. And just that 1 extra boost in magic could really change the course of battle for him. Alright, and he was the 6th and final hero included in Vault of the Fiends. Alright, I've got 1 video left, and that will cover all the map cards and all the miscellaneous cards that came in this set. So it'll be released soon. Please come back and check that out, and thanks for watching this one.